Hey everyone, it's Tanya with Shattered Bones. I will put the date up here because I don't even know what day it is. Days have ran into each other for the past couple days, and that happens to me. This is after my suicidal episode. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And I didn't brush my hair or anything when I woke up because I wanted people to see the real. I mean, looking at myself right now, I'm like, yeah, I am the epitome. I am what you see in the movies and mental asylum. My hair's unkept. I'm a hot mess. And that is part of having issues with your brain health and the way that your brain works. My brain doesn't work like everybody else's. It's not a neurotypical brain. So what I have discovered is that what I need during my most vulnerable moments when I am actively dying is I need the same thing any other actively dying and suffering human needs. I need a lot of love. I need not to feel alone. I need people that have compassion. That's what helps me realize my brain is lying to me, because those of us who have chronic debilitating depression, our brains lie to us constantly. I can only speak for me, but as someone who grew up in a house of horrors, basically, I didn't grow up in a safe environment, and my stories on shatterbones.com, and you can also find many of my childhood stories on my YouTube channel here. So I don't think I'm alone in this. Actually, I know I'm not alone in this. Shattered Bones, since I've created it, has reached over 13 million people worldwide, like globally. This is something that people struggle with across all humans. These problems from early childhood trauma that carry on throughout our life because it has affected the way our brain has developed in the most critical times. Anyway, so the way that my brain works, and what we have two parts that are suicidal, actively suicidal. Introduce them again. It's Lila and Scotty. The interesting thing about Lila and Scotty is they don't live in the castle with the rest of my system. They live in a cottage in the woods away from the castle. They live by themselves, and they're twins, boy-girl twins, and another interesting part is that they age slide. So they go from very young to teenage, 17, 18 years old. So the interesting thing now that I recognize I'm a DID system and I know who my suicidal parts are, I hardly ever hear from those two, but when I do, it's rough. I think what happened this last week, I'd been doing really well. I've been going out, getting outside the house. With agoraphobia, it's really difficult to do that. I've been trying to be more physical. I was really proud of myself by day 3 that I got out of the house. I'm like, oh, I've got this mastered. Day 4, events happened that I was triggered, and that's what caused Lila to come out this time and for me to become actively suicidal. Like, really feeling myself slipping. So I messaged Clint. Clint's like my rock. He's my ground. And I'm like, I really need to hear your voice. I'm freaking out. I need to hear your voice. Blah, blah. In a presentation, what's up? And I'm like, oh shit, I forgot you were there today. Never mind. I'll handle it. But in reality, I wanted him to talk to me. I wanted him to call me. I wanted him to make me a priority. And I didn't express that. So I ruminated. By the time Clint got home, I was really angry at him. I felt like it's like the anger has to go somewhere. And once another part takes over, and it's a younger part, they're just really immature in the way that they handle things. So Lila had taken over. I know that now. At the time, I didn't. Sometimes when Lila takes over and I'm actively suicidal, it'll be really childish. Like, we could be driving down the road and I'll try to jump out of the car. So bizarre. But this time Lila was being very calculating and mean. And so typically when I'm suicidal, I will have a specific plan in mind, no matter who takes over. And things that I was doing that night, I was just like, well, I'm just going to take these pills, or I'm just going to cut my wrist, or I'm just going to do this, or I'm going to do this. And poor Clint, he was ready to call to take me to the hospital again, lock me down. And I started crying, and I'm begging him, please don't do that, because the hospital, the mental hospital is awful. It's awful. All they do is watch you. They don't help you at all. My experience has been horrible with the mental hospital. So I just begged him to please take an FMLA day, take a day and be with me, and I could calm down. Thank God, after active for about 12 hours, and then after that, Clint was exhausted, I was exhausted, so we slept. So already. And I want you to know that if you are actively suicidal, it's okay for you to reach out. In fact, that is what saves my life. So it will save your life. I want to encourage more people to reach out. The reason why we don't reach out is because as soon as we post something on social media publicly, the police come and they lock us up, put us in handcuffs, and put us in the mental hospital. I want that to stop. I want people in society to understand when we are reaching out, we need somebody who loves us, somebody who's going to understand that we are actively suffering and dying at that point. That is our last resort to reach out like that. And for you and society to shame us for that, call us attention seeking, is sick. And that's the reason why people don't reach out for help. And I want that to stop. We need to normalize people reaching out when they are feeling suicidal. We need to be the ones to make the difference. You need to listen to people like me who have been surviving from suicidal ideations for decades. It's time for society to come out of the Stone Age. When you see somebody on your friends list stating, I am really struggling today, I don't know how much longer I can do this, you need to be the person to reach out to them, message them, tell them you love them, tell them they are worthy, tell them their brain is lying to them, because it is. What we have is absolutely terminal. People die by suicide every single day. And we can stop that. We can change it. Our lives matter. So if you are feeling suicidal, reach out, say something. I am working to take a stand. It's time for us to make our lives matter, and it's time for us to save lives. So I'll talk to y'all soon. Love y'all more.